In this video we're looking at arrays again, and we're building on what we did last time, which was the arrays with using loops. This time we've got an if statement inside that loop. Now this is where you'll really see TRACS come into play. The reason we've been doing this is kind of leading up to this moment. So it's this bit here, so you can understand what's going on, because quite a lot of people don't understand it when they first see it, and it's important to understand for the National 5 coursework, and it's extremely important to understand for higher. If you need to understand this to understand the programming concepts at higher, and hopefully after we've went through this it will make sense to you, or at least after we go through it and you get a little bit of practice in this on this page and the ones that come after. So we're going to highlight item array. Notice how we've actually got things there already, and we're going to highlight I like I better than counter, but it's up to you if you want to stick to counter or whatever. And then we're going to highlight our condition, and then we'll put the arrows in. Right, this is true, this is false, and you keep going, and we're going to go around 5 times. So item array, we'll just call it I array. I, and this will be I array square brackets I less than 10. Okay, how this works is, well, this bit's easy actually. It's just set up as you see. It's just 5, 10, 15, 20. What a mess. Doesn't really matter, you can read it there. For I from 0 to 4. I is 0, okay? If item array square brackets I is less than 10. Now, what on earth does that mean? So each position in an array, or each item in an array, has a position. It has its own number. It starts off at 0, always. The first one is always 0, and then you just count up from there. So position 0 is 5 in this case. Now when you see if item array I, what you're doing is you're looking up what the value of I is, which is currently 0, and you look up this, so it's 5. So you're actually asking if item array, or if the item at position 0, because I is currently 0, is less than 10. So if item array I, which is 0, look at that, 0, well 5, is 5 less than 10? That's what you got to ask. Yeah, it is. So you put true, and then you write low number to display. And then we go to false. Oh no, what we're doing. And then we go back down to the end here, and we loop round, and I will go up by 1. Okay, so we got 1. If item array I, well I is 1 now, so think of it as if item array 1. Well, what's in position 1 of item array? It's 10. Is 10 less than 10? It's not less than, and there's no equal sign, so no, 10 is not less than 10. So we follow the false path, and we just put a false there, and when you follow the false path you get high number, so you write that. Go around again, I goes up by 1 as always. We get to 2. If item array I, if item array 2 is less than 10, well what's there? 15. Is 15 less than 10? No, it's not, so false. So we write high number again. I'm just going to write high to be quick. And so we go around again, I goes up. What's that position? Well, it's 20. Is 20 less than 10? No, it's not. So we write high again. One last time we go around, we get to 4. If item array 4 So if 10 is less than 10, no it's not. That is also false. So we write high once again. And that's it. Now the next page is very similar. I'm not going to go through it all. The only difference is this bit here, which I actually wrote kind of like a little cheat for. The length of item array. So if you remember all the way back to the length page, where's that? This page here, the one that counted the letters of a word, len can also count the how many things are in an array for you. Now that's useful because although it doesn't do it in this program here, sometimes the amount of items in your array changes. So if you say this was empty to begin with, right, and you keep adding, you just add a random number of items, like maybe your program tells you how many items would you want to add, 10 or whatever, and then each user can type in a different number. This is going to change all the time. So what an easier way, rather than typing in 0 to 4 or whatever and having to count how many things are in your array, you just do len and then put the name of the array in brackets, and that's it. This is very useful when we get to higher level because you get given files at higher level, and sometimes it has like 900 odd things, and rather than you counting them, you just write 0 to len and it will count up to 900 for you. If that isn't an incentive enough to write that, the incentive might be you get a mark for just doing that. So I mean, if you're happy with this, you can do it, but if you write the len, you get 1 mark just for that. And it's that easy, just replacing the number 4 or whatever with len item array, or whatever the name of your array is. Other than that, this program is exactly the same, or it's very similar. This one is again very similar. I'm not going to go through all of them, except you don't start off with anything. So you're adding items, and then you're immediately checking if they're less than 10 or between 10 and 20. They're just building on each other. So I wouldn't even start a new program for each of these. I would just keep adding to the existing program. And there's an extension task there for you as well. Input validation, if you remember what that is, the while loops, see if you can add that and make a better program from that. What I will do is, just to finish off the video, I will show how to add, do this in Python, just because it is a bit different. So we haven't got names array, we've got item array now, so I'm going to change this. This is just the last program, item array, and then you go 5, 10, make sure you got commas between each of your items, 10, 4, well I'll just keep it the same, for I in range 0 to 4, name, it's not names we're asking for, so we're deleting both of these bits. And we don't even want to check anything, right? Okay, so we have an item array, we have the loop, and now we've got to go if item array, and then just square brackets, don't do a space or anything, keep it right next to each other. If item array I is less than 10. This is why I like doing I, right? Because if you do counter, oops, can't spell, you have to write counter there, and I don't know why, that just bugs me. It just looks wrong. It's too much words. So I just like doing I there. It looks cleaner, but it's up to you. And remember, then it's a colon. So if item array I is less than 10, print low number. Else print high number. And that is it. So let's run this, and it just does it all very quickly. If you ever want to check what's happening behind the scenes, I would encourage this, especially if you don't know what's happening to your program, and when we get to more complex programs, it might be a good idea just to write print item array and then just write what it is you're comparing, just to keep yourself right. I do this all the time. So what it'll look like now is you can see how it looks at 5 first, and then it says low number, and then it's 10, and then it's high number, so you can actually see what's happening behind the scenes. I just think that's very useful and something good to remember. Last thing, just while I'm here, this length of item array, how do you do that? Well, it's down here. you would just change 4, and this is 1 mark in the coursework. All you've got to do is write len, so it goes purple when you know it's right, and a set of brackets, and in that set of brackets write the name of your array. So now it will loop round no matter how many items you've got. So if I run now, it'll work. Yeah, it works fine. And to show you what I mean with it changing, so let's just say we add in a bunch of other items, right? We add in loads. Now it does all of them, whereas before, if this was just 4, if this was just, I just pressed the wrong button. Well, it's only going to do that, and then, I mean, it's not hard to count it, but another argument for it is if this is less and you've typed in 4, then it's going to error. Whereas if you type in len item array, doesn't matter how many you've got, it's happy. So yeah, that is everything about arrays at National 5 level. Really we're just getting practice at it now and making sure you understand how the positions are being passed through to the loop and all that type of stuff there. Right, thank you for listening.